In this world, I'm stranded on an island in the middle of an ocean filled with trash. But this isn't your normal Minecraft experience. I built a custom data pack for this map so that I have to rely on reeling in trash from the ocean. Last time, we transformed our simple island into a 1-star castaway resort, complete with a fishing dock, a crop field on which our cozy home overlooks, and of course, the apple of my eye and the chicken of my island, Chester. After that dolphin saved me and returned my lost loot, we named the island eBay to honor his heroics. And this time, we need to turn our island into something that dolphin would be proud of. But first, well, that actually kind of reminds me, you know how in last episode, kind of like the whole thing was that the water was like, ooh, all dangerous and you get swept away if you fell in, and it was kind of like just like the whole antagonist. Well, yeah, so now it's pretty much kind of like not a big deal, because I made these flippies. And we'll get back to how I made those later. But for now, I'm ready to start building. And by building, of course, I mean gathering resources, which is gonna suck because for whatever reason, I opted to make this map's progression super grindy. I wanted to make it so resources had to come from the ocean, so I got rid of leaves dropping saplings and made it so that you need to use a fortune enchantment on leaves, making it more of a late game commodity. And right now, saplings are a pretty rare drop from just normal fishing, which I'll probably have to change for the map download. And that's unfortunate for me, because today, I'm ready to take on our first major project. I'm gonna build an oceanside fantasy tropical pirate tavern. What I'm really excited about in this build is making it look like it's been built from a repurposed boat. It'll have some wobbly, impossibly tall floors on top of it that look like they're being held together with old boards and a couple of nails. I think the fantasy style, and hopefully just like sheer size, will really add a lot of charm to eBay. And lucky for me, while I was explaining all this, me from the past was suffering through collecting resources for hours on end. I've probably watched through like 7 episodes of The Witcher, literally just sitting here fishing. I've only managed to get like 5 stacks of non-driftwood wood. To be quite frank, I'm just kind of ready to get to building. So first, my goal for right now is I want to try and build a dock. Not one necessarily like this, but instead maybe one that will serve as the foundation to our tavern. And just to try and make our wood last, I think we're gonna use bamboo for the docks because I can farm it a lot faster, and I also really don't want to use birch or driftwood. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get to building then. All right, yeah, this is a good start. I am really happy with how this is looking. It is a lot of the same color, just a lot of bamboo happening, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I do love the way bamboo sounds when you run on it. This has given me a rough idea for where I'm going to start putting the main build on, but I think I need to start laying out some groundwork for it to really fully understand it. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to get some sleep, and then we're going to get to framing. Yes, that is exactly what I'm going for. After spending so much time thinking about it and getting all the blocks, it's nice to see something finally down. But the blocks weren't the only thing that was down. Chester! Why such the long face, man?
Being trapped in the body of a chicken for starters, not to mention being forced to listen to you all day.
Oh, I know what it is. You're lonely, aren't you, Chester?
Oh, God.
Oh, there we go. Welcome. Welcome to eBay. Chester, meet Gumbo. Welcome, Gumbo. Chester was happy, I was stocked up on resources, and it looks like the dolphins are already enjoying the new build. So it was finally time for me to fill in the ship and add a bit of detail. Okay, Yeah. I mean, I'm not much of a boat builder, but I'm pretty happy with that. On to the back. Yeah, it's not awful. It's not awful. I can confidently say it's not awful. As you can tell, I was in love with this build. Okay, admittedly, it wasn't really jumping out at me, but don't worry. The details I'm about to add really turned it around. Okay, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy when the whole of it started coming together, but man, dude, those details add so much to it. This build was finally coming together and I couldn't have been more excited. Oh, hey, Gumbo. Wow, you are a lot bigger. Well, I was just coming to see if you and Chester were doing You what?
What? I didn't say anything.
You want to go on a date with Gumbo?
No, don't do this to me.
That's amazing, Chester. I'm so happy for you. Wait, what? You're going on a date to the tavern?
Please just leave me alone.
In 1 week?
I give up.
It's not even halfway done! Now that I had my made-up story designed to keep the viewer's attention in place, I knew I had to get to work. But not long after I started, I was interrupted by something rather peculiar. Wait a second. What? Who are you? Who are you and what are you doing out the... Wait, what? Oh, I'm gonna have to watch the replay back on that one. And I did. But what I saw only left me more confused. Also, I'm definitely making a short on this, so if you came from that, hello there. Anyway, I went to grab a lead so that I could bring him back to shore. And gotcha. Don't worry, buddy. You'll be safe here. Okay, this is kind of awkward. So I don't actually have another room for you to stay in right now. So I'm just gonna have to put you here, if that's okay with you. Just hang tight. You're welcome to stay as long as you need to. You are, I guess, fastened down, so I guess that's not really your choice, but with the water chicken taken care of, I got back to play some blocks. Wait. Where'd you go, buddy? But just as mysteriously and suddenly as he came, he went. Well, Mr. Sea Chicken won't be able to see it, but this is what the inside of it looks like right now. Finally been able to finish the front and back. But we don't have any time to spare, so it's time to get into the next part of this build. And I actually just kind of had an idea. I set up this hopper between episodes so that I could kind of just passively collect trash coming in. So as you can see, we have a ton of trash. And it would make sense probably to just place it all down and break it so that we can get all the stuff out of it. But I think I would rather use it to make a giant pile of trash in the ocean. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive because it's polluting the ocean, but this isn't real, so I have no moral dilemmas. My original plan was to make it out of stone, but since I had all this trash lying around, I figured this would be a fun way to put it to use. This could potentially cover most of it, I'm not sure. We'll see how far it will get us, but there's one thing I'd like to do in preparation before we jump into that. As promised at the beginning of this episode, I want to explain how these flippers work. So first of all you gotta do is just get some rotten flesh and toss it on the fire, and that will make rabbit hide, or I guess small hide, which 4 of those turns into 1 leather. And now with the leather, you can just make normal leather boots. And the final step of this puzzle is to turn some of this plastic into rubber. And then all you gotta do is just surround the leather boots in rubber. And you just made yourself some flippers. Which I wanted to go ahead and make a backup set, because you can see when I stand in the water, over time they lose durability. So before I go swimming underwater that whole time, I want to make sure we have a backup pair, which we now do. So, I guess I'll get to building that. But just like every project I have on this world, I got distracted again. A witch? Are you? Oh man, all right. I don't really think I had a plan here, but for whatever reason I felt smart. Where are are you still after me? Leave me alone. And back to building. That is the last block I got for now. So, you know, honestly, we did make it a pretty far way through this mound, because I got all this front side done and a lot of this side as well. Like, that's a pretty filled in mound. I've been spending a bit of time gathering up some final resources here, or I guess hopefully final, we'll see. And I think I'm ready to take on the rest of this build, which I gotta admit, very nervous about. Because I have kind of a plan, but only kind of a plan. So yeah, we're gonna wing it, and I guess just see what happens. Okay, yeah, okay. I think I'm starting to feel a little bit more warmed up now. Let's knock this thing out. And while we're knocking that out, let's talk about the sponsor for today. I don't have one, but I am launching a Patreon, and it's live right now as you're watching this, in the top link in the description. And this map, including the data pack, is available for download on said Patreon. But remember, it's only for Java, not Bedrock. And this series has been serving as my playtest for it, so I'm fixing any problems I run into and balancing it as I go. I'll be watching for both comments on Patreon and messages in my Discord for any other potential problems that are found. My plan for Patreon going forward will be to host any digital products I make in the future, such as maps and data packs for my videos and shorts, or even standalone projects like this mob vote game that I'm working on. And as I add more content there, I do plan on raising the price, but for now, as a test run, it's just $1. Feel free to buy it for a month and download what you want, which at this point is only the map, and then cancel, or stick around and help support the channel. Either way, it's always appreciated. Yeah, so this is bigger than my sketches. I had an idea going into this. This ship is pretty much exactly what I thought it was gonna be, and then I was just gonna stack houses kind of precariously on top of it. But every time I added a new house to it, it just didn't feel grand enough. And so now it is good. I think I'm very happy with the height here. However, I'm definitely running out of material here, both in terms of wood and blocks and stuff to build with, but also just designs. I don't know what this is, man. This moment had been the culmination of hours and hours and hours of resource gathering, not to mention only stone tools and a pair of flippers. And although it's a little rough around the edges, I was super happy with how it's turning out. But not! What about the back of the build? You didn't show what the back of the... Shh. No. Let's not talk about the back of the build. Okay, we're just looking at the front here. Never ask a builder about the back of their build. So I think I'm gonna try and wrap up the bottom part of it here and maybe do a little interior in this, because Gumbo and Chester, and I guess both of their eggs, are still very much looking forward to this date, and it is something that still very much needs to happen. So yeah, don't actually tell Chester and Gumbo that this has taken a lot of days, because they can't tell time or count days or anything. I cannot believe we've been able to get all of this done and still have one more day until date night, which means we need to finish this bottom section. So as much as I hate to kick you over to a time lapse, one more, I promise. Just one last time lapse. One. after watching Chester and Gumbo that night, I realized something. I've realized that if I've learned one thing from all of this, it's that I have no idea how chickens work on a basic biological level. How do they both create a child from thin air, but also still lay eggs?